Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, Facebook world. Jokes on Facebook. We made it work, okay? Because we are entrepreneurs, we are scrappy, and we love what we do, and we will share a message, okay? So, Facebook, we went around your little game that you wanted to play, and here we are. So if you are here on Facebook, I would love for you to drop a heart, drop a comment, and just say hello. That would be great because that also allows us entrepreneurs to be seen further. So even though you have no idea what's going on, if you just want to give a thumbs up or a heart at any time, that would be great. Just help out the algorithm. Thank you, friends. All right, what are we doing here today? I am here with Vickie Griffith, and I love her new playbook that's coming out. It is so cool. As an entrepreneur, you get a little burnt out, a little frustrated, and a little overwhelmed. What if you just took a break, took a pause? I know that sounds backwards as an entrepreneur. I get it. But what if during that pause, you were actually working on yourself? So when you hit play, you are running full force, wide open, and you are ready to take charge of what is going on. Vickie, this sounds way too good to be true. What do you mean I can put my life on pause and come back stronger after a reset?
Well, I appreciate the invitation to be on with you today. And yes, we are scrappy as entrepreneurs, so we're going to figure out a way. That's how we do it, and that's how we roll. And what happens is we get overwhelmed and we get burned out because it feels sometimes like everything's going wrong in the wrong direction. And so sometimes we just need to take a pause. We need to take a breath. And sometimes that's all it is. We can just sit for a second and take a deep breath in, 3 or 4 better. Or I just came back from a week-long vacation. So what that does is it helps reset your mind, reset your body, reset your goals. You can move forward in a much more space of passion rather than I've got to, I should, and I need to, which is what most entrepreneurs get caught up in. And that is the worst mindset for growing a business. So pause can be as little as taking a few deep breaths and then moving forward, or taking a week-long vacation like I just did, which is awesome.
I love that. Okay, so then what got you started in this? What was your aha moment where you were like, this is what I need to do? This is where the clarity came into focus. So how did you get started?
Well, I don't know that it was like, this light bulb moment says, this is what you need to do. It took a course of actually many decades, and most people don't want to hear that. But I bet most people, whether they're in business or an entrepreneur, you've been groomed along your life to become that. It typically doesn't just happen. For myself, I was groomed. So I was very shy, reserved child. I was not the one that would speak up in class. And I was always fat. I was always overweight. So I felt I was wrong for some reason. Even though I was really smart, I knew the answers. I wouldn't raise my hand in class. And so I hid a lot. And it was when I was a teenager and had one last ditch effort to release the 70-some pounds that I had on. My mom said to me, hey, we're going to a chiropractor and they just learned hypnosis. Would you like to try it? I'm like, sure, why not? Now, the program worked. I lost 30 pounds. I found it back again. That's why I say I use the word lost. But what was fascinating about the experience of being in hypnosis was, and it was all about the diet. So once I got done with hypnosis, it didn't work anymore because I hadn't changed my thought around food, my feelings around food, and that's what I needed support with. But what did happen is that shy, reserved fat teenager started raising her hand in class when she knew the answers. And the teachers were like, who are you? I mean, of course they knew who I was, but they just were like surprised that I would do that. I stood up and I did oral presentations, and I was shaking, but I wasn't shaking so badly that you could see my knees shaking in my jeans. And so I was just enthralled with the power we all had in our mind, and why weren't we taught how to use it? I was always interested in psychology, and I was even as a little kid at first, second grade. I would be standing alone because no one would pick me up. I was fat and shy. And I would be saying, I wonder why Jimmy is picking on Susie, and how come Jennifer is always playing with Katie? I was wondering about human behavior even at a young age. So life kind of groomed me into, I want to know how to help people, and I want to be able to help people quickly. I went on to go into psychology, but chemistry kind of like, nah, not doing that. I take chemistry. So I changed my route and I went into business. And I succeeded at business in many different levels. My husband and I had our own businesses, but I always loved the mindset piece. And I get frustrated even now. I was talking to a colleague the other day. I get frustrated because people still don't know the opportunity and the availability to change what they think, how they think, and what they think. And their belief systems are holding them down. For instance, I was at the convenience store the other day. That's right now we're around $1.1 billion or something for Mega Million. Like, well, why not? You know, I'll take a chance. I'll buy a ticket. So there's a person beside me, and he was kind of a little grumpy about the whole $1 billion thing. And he was like, and I said, why is it not enough money for you? And he's like, no, he says, I just would never win. Strike number one, he had the belief system that he would never win, even if you buy a ticket, you have a chance. But even with that chance, he would never win. So he already had belief system number two, or number one. And second belief he said to me is it should go to several people, not just one, because it should go to 20 or 30 people. And so there is his belief number two, that wealthy people are greedy and that they don't help each other. In reality, most people who are winning that kind of money are probably helping at least that or more. So they're setting up foundations, they're putting money into areas that is their passion, that they want to help people with. So our belief systems create the situations that we're in. And my passion is to show people that that can be changed, even the ones you don't know, that are sly and are keeping you stuck.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Yes. Oh my goodness. I love all of that.
Mhm.
So, okay. I have the next question. I had a next thought. I'm getting too ahead of myself. So I'm sorry. I'll bring it back in. So
Yeah, I
then
love it. I love free form. I'm good with it.
I love it. I love that you are open for anything because yes, we've been networking for a little while now. So you know that my brain sometimes gets ahead of me and I have to like dial it back. What is your client's biggest challenge?
Their biggest challenge is, as I spoke out earlier, the sly subconscious beliefs that they have that are wrecking, ruining, or keeping them stuck in their lives, and they don't even know what that is. They're not even aware that that has caused that issue within themselves until we start talking and chatting and doing some exercises. And then there's a huge aha for them. And that's another part of what I love about my job. That's why my business is called Breakthrough. I love to see people have breakthroughs. And it happens sometimes really unexpectedly. It's not like I'm planning or they're planning for this unveiling to come about. And they feel like they've taken care of the situation. They feel like, they've gotten over it or pushed through it, which most of us did, myself included, I pushed through it. And then all of a sudden it starts kind of raising its little head going, no, you didn't, no, you didn't, no, you didn't.
Yes.
So an example of that is a client who I network with that was telling me that when they were a child, they had an issue with their teeth. And so much so that they didn't smile because they were embarrassed about their looks. And even though their teeth are fine now, they're finding that embarrassment, that guilt, that shame that caused the teeth to have an issue is still preventing them from growing their business the way they want to. And so I can help them unravel that and release it in a very safe way. I don't believe in bawling your eyes out. Does it happen? Sure. Some of my clients need that. But I don't believe in that. I believe in it being easy and graceful and letting it go peacefully so that you can find peace. And then what happens a lot of times is people like quantum leap. whatever it might be, whether it's their health, whether it is their business, whether it's relationships, things start magically happening for them. And that's so rewarding as well, to see that those easy, sometimes simple steps can help them move past things that have kept them stuck, sometimes for decades.
Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. As you were telling me that story, I was like, yep, there's a few things.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for sharing that. So what will happen like if they don't take action?
They'll stay in the same place they are, no matter how much work they put into it, how much they invest in other programs. I know as an entrepreneur, we're usually, not only are we scrappy and just trying to get things done, but we love to learn, and we love to learn new things and new ways of doing things. And you will, I have to say, I'm one of these people as well. I have taken many courses. I've bought many online courses and never finished them. And that, what happens is when I go backwards, I look back and I go, okay, so what is this about? And then I realize typically it's something that's happened in our childhood. Typically it's something that when we had that happen to us, we made a decision about ourselves, or someone actually came right out and told us. So I have many clients that a teacher, a parent, someone that was supposed to love them told them they were no good. They were stupid. They didn't ever amount to anything. And again, they think they've pushed through it. They think they've overcome it. But those little nagging thoughts and have created these behaviors that they don't want is affecting their life. And they keep pushing through, but then they get tired. And they get sad and they get overwhelmed and they get angry and frustrated. So that's what I can help them do, is move past it. If they don't, then that's going to keep happening, and they're going to get more of. There's a law. It's a spiritual law, but it's actually a law of physics. It's called the law of cause and effect. And so what that is, if you've ever seen, you're pretty young, so you might not have, but there's a bar and it has like 7 or 8 little balls that are hanging from strings. And you take one, you know what that is? Okay, and you take one and you let it go and you hit the other ones. Well, this one on this end will come out and it will go back and forth. That's the law of cause and effect. So whatever you think, you will get in return. And whatever you believe, you will get more of in return. And so it's very interesting to watch people try to make affirmations, because most time without any coaching, they're making affirmations that is getting returns they don't want, because they're saying it in a way that's getting the results that they're getting they don't want anymore. And so that's just one part. Affirmations are just one part of shifting those belief systems. The law of cause and effect is you get whatever you think about. When Henry Ford decided that automobiles should be able to be made on some kind of crazy conveyor belt and move through the factory, and my father worked in a factory in Michigan. My husband's father worked in an automobile factory in Michigan. So we actually experienced it. And the car, every step of the way, there are people working on this car. Now it's robots for the most part. But when Henry Ford was envisioning that, it wasn't even a possibility. It wasn't anything. A lot of people probably say, you're crazy. We still have horses on the street. What are you talking about? This car thing is never gonna, it's just a phase, they're gonna, whatever, they're gonna go by. But he had this thing in his mind that could happen. And then the hows to make that happen started coming to him. And he started putting together the pieces. And now we have conveyor belts, basically. They're building cars now with robots. Who would have thought that? So thoughts will always become things. So you use your thoughts to get what you want, or you use your thoughts to get what you don't want. And that's the law of cause and effect.
Yeah, it goes right back to your Powerball player, as you were saying, that if you just keep on thinking all these negative thoughts, it'll never happen. Well, then, yeah, you're totally right. It's never going to happen.
Right.
So not saying if, you go to bed every night thinking I'm going to win, Are you going to be an absolute winner? No, except for your chances of that, because you're thinking of abundance, could come to you. So,
yeah. And the thought is the first stage of it. Then there's the feeling behind it. So saying to yourself, I'm going to win is fabulous, but feeling it is even more grounding into the body and the mind. I was just overhearing a story, and I don't remember his name, but he was the man who first broke the barrier of the 4-minute mile. And everyone kept saying that can never happen. We physically are not capable to run a 4-minute mile. Now, this happened like 30s-ish, 40s. I mean, this happened a long time ago. And he started the race the same way he always starts the race. And at the very end of the race, towards the end of the race, there was just like this spur of energy that he had. And he ran so fast that he broke the 4-minute mile. And when they asked him, how did you do that? What he said was, I imagined myself with that spurt of energy, those few seconds, minutes, whatever it was, towards the end to the finish line. And I kept imagining and feeling what that would be like. And that's exactly what I experienced. So feeling is the second part of the equation of changing what you want to change within yourself, is feeling it happening. So for the person with the lottery win, feeling what it would be like to look at those numbers online and go, oh my gosh, I think I might have this. I think these might be my numbers. Seeing and sensing that you're bringing someone you love in, or you're taking your phone to them and like, just double check, here's the ticket, here's my phone, check these, please check these for me. I think this is happening. I think this is really happening. So feeling that, and then moving forward with what else that happens to that, what else happens in their life that would be wonderful and fun and exciting. They say to use all of your senses. So what do you hear? What does someone say to you? What are you smelling? As crazy as that sounds. What, if you're imagining your ocean beach house, do you smell the ocean? Most people who've been to the ocean and love the ocean knows what that smells like. So what are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you touching? You've got your phone in your hand. What are you sensing? So other things that you're feeling. And there's 5 healing or 5 senses that we have. So incorporating all of those into your thoughts. And this is what sounds crazy. It's like, but that's not real. There's such a power in the invisible and in higher power, God, whatever you might want to call it, that is available to you that you're not utilizing. And just because what you see around you is the experience you're having now doesn't mean it will be forever. When my husband and I first got married, we both, he had a full-time job. We actually bought a restaurant at the same time. We were insane. 5-month-old baby, restaurant, first home. And he's working full-time job, working from 5 to 2. I'm working the restaurant pretty much by myself, taking baby in with me. And his nap time was a mattress on top of the deep freezer. That's, that's how he napped. Brought his big wheel in when he started riding. So it was really kind of a crazy time. This little house that we bought was 900 square foot. And it was a summer cottage in Michigan. So what does that mean? It had no insulation. The windows were all bad. It was built in the 20s. It was just horrific. That's all we could afford. And so little by little, it didn't even have a refrigerator. We had to bring one of the coolers from the restaurant over. So we had someplace to store our son's milk. So over a period of years, we started building it. But one thing we would do as a family is there was a neighborhood nearby. And this was a very affluent neighborhood. And they had very big houses compared to this little 900 square foot house that we had. And we would take our bicycles and we would ride through that neighborhood about dusk so we could see in the houses and kind of experience ourselves living in those houses. What ended up happening is a few years later, we took a risk and moved to a different state. My husband got a job. He was making more money than both of us together were making. Because at one point we sold the restaurant and I started working full time. And it was probably 2.5 times the size of the first house. But we kept imagining what would it be like to have a bigger house? What would it be like to have more property? We wanted bigger. We had an acre. We wanted more. To where the point that now we're living in a 3,300 square foot house on 21 acres, and our barn is bigger than our house. And that all happened because when we lived in that 900 square foot house, we kept imagining and visualizing and enjoying what it would be like to have the bigger house and the bigger property, rather than being controlled by those little walls that we had, that this was all we're going to have. So that's available to you. It's just knowing the formulas. It's just knowing that what's going on that's stopping you, so that you can move past it really forever and enjoy the life that you could not even have imagined. I could not have imagined in my 900 square foot house, the house I'm in now. I couldn't have. But through the years that happened, because I imagined I wanted more and I wanted bigger and I wanted something different. Now, that doesn't mean my goals have stopped. I have other dreams and I have other things that I want that are beyond this property, beyond my business as it is right now, beyond my relationship that I have with my husband and our son and our granddaughters. I want more, and that's part of human nature. And God gave us that sense of wanting more, because we are representing of God's abundance. And so as humans, that's what we want. So as we're wanting more, why not have fun with it? And imagine what you
I
want.
agree. I love that. Yes. Oh my goodness. What an amazing story that is. And yeah. So, but guys, don't go looking inside your neighbor's windows. I mean, imagine it, but yeah, definitely just watch yourself. Okay. Don't be like, Vickie told me to. That's not what we're saying.
No, it wasn't peeping time. We were riding our bicycles through the neighborhood. We did not stop and look at someone. But that's a very good point. I love it.
Right? That is what Google is for. Go ahead and yeah, if you really want to like stalk things, go ahead and type in, mansions or something and make a huge dream board. That would be great. But yeah, don't be the creeper on your block, okay?
Good point.
Over fun. So what is the common myth about getting ahead in life or business?
Well, there's a lot of myths around money, and that's where a lot of our belief systems come from. And then it ripples, just like throwing a stone into a still lake. The ripples start coming out. So money is the factor that I can tell you in an 8-question quiz what your sabotaging belief archetypes are, because through money questions, because typically for most people, I would say 98% of us, our decisions are based around money, or beliefs around ourselves around money. It's a very complicated talking point. Money and sex are the two things that people don't want to talk about. And so it's uncomfortable for people. And that just kind of shares with you what kind of sabotage that might be. So money, the myth is that you shouldn't make a lot of money. The myth is the rich people are greedy. The myth is that it's hard to make a lot of money. The myth is you have to be special. And then there's a lot of others. You're not enough. You're too old. You're too young. You're too fat. You're too thin to make a good living, to have a great relationship, to have an amazing career, whatever it is you're desiring. That's the myth. Those are all limiting beliefs. They have nothing to do with your possibilities. Do you need talent? Yes. I will tell you, you need talent to succeed in whatever your dream is. Could I be a professional ballerina right now in my life? No. Could I ever been? No. Why? Because I never took a ballerina class. Now, I can take a bar class, right? I can do that now, but I will never be a professional ballerina. I don't have the talent. I don't have the skill. I don't have the desire. I don't want to walk on my toes. So I don't want any of that. And I've worked with ballerinas, and I don't want to have to deal with the physical constraints that they have to go through. So that's just not me. I did have a client who wanted to be a professional basketball player. He was in his 30s. So the chances of him being a professional basketball player is pretty low, not impossible. He knew how to play basketball. He played many times. He played in many teams. He played amateur basketball whenever he could. So he was in competitions quite a bit. So he had talent, but the timing was not quite right in his life. So what did he do instead of just give up on his dream of playing professional basketball? What he did is he started basketball camps for underprivileged kids. And he got sponsors for people to support him through their camps. And he was having the time of his life of supporting kids through their dream. So sometimes our dreams change a little bit, even though we have the talent and skill. but it shifts to something else that we can do to help other people.
I love that. And you know what? I got really excited when you used the D word, desire. You have to have the desire and the passion to go after what you want. I mean, you can have all the skill and everything. We see with actors all the time, all of these beautiful actors, and we're like, where did they go? That's because they just no longer had the desire. And I love that you brought up the D word.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That and the fear of competition. So on this cruise that we were on, of course, they have a lot of entertainment. And one of the entertainment was Name That Tune Broadway tunes, I think. And so you had to name the song and the musical was in. And the hostess, the director, was sharing how she went to school to be a Broadway actor, and she gave up. And I found that sad. You know, does she love what she's doing? She appeared to love what she was doing. She seemed to be having a good time with everybody. I found that a little sad. But sometimes there's a good reason to quit too. You know, you have to know what you're willing and not willing to do. So I love that you're bringing up that desire. If you don't have the desire and you have to push through, and maybe that's what she found, she didn't have the desire for it anymore. If you have to push through, then it's no longer worth it to spend all the time and commitment. Find something else you love, and she seemed to really love what she was doing.
I think you're absolutely right. Because otherwise, I mean, I'm sure that you and your husband, you know, had the desire to obviously, you know, make the restaurant. You guys saw the vision and everything. But at the same time, it's like, okay, eventually, you know, you have to like lay some things down in order to do something else that you desire. So yes,
Right.
I love that. When it's time just to close a chapter. And that doesn't mean failure. That just means closing a chapter and just moving on to what else you want.
Right, exactly.
What do you wish that you would have known all along the journey?
I wish I would have been more aligned with who I am rather than trying to be somebody else. So I looked at other people and I like, well, I need to be thinner. I need to be more blonde. I need to be taller. Like I could do anything but that. I need to be wealthier. I need to be, until I have those things, I can't be happy. And I think that's what I wish I would have known. Be happy first. Be happy with who you are, the body you're in, where you are in your life. Be grateful for what's happened to you, because it all happens to you for a reason. And so be grateful for even the hard times. And you never know what's going to happen in the future, as long as you keep imagining and moving forward. So that's what I wish I would have caught on to sooner, is be aligned with myself and know that it's all going to be okay. It's all happening to me for a reason.
I love that. And yes, you're so right. Because even as like people look back like on their journey and they're like, I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have like seen this coming, or, and like, yeah, as you look back, you're like, oh, that is a huge part of me. Like if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm really excited about this next part. What gift do you have for us? Because you came out with something new called the Playbook. And could you just break that down just a little bit more and really dive on into this? I love what we've talked about, but I just want people to really understand what this playbook is and what it means to put pause.
All right, great. Well, pausing is great. Like I said, it can be a short bit of time, but while you're pausing, to reflect and to move forward as well. So the playbook is a 30-day experiment, an experience where you can deep dive a little bit into some of these belief systems in a very safe place. It is a group format. It is every day you'll get an assignment, an exercise, if you will. It takes about, and a video explaining the exercise for me, between 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day is all it will take you. You can take it as far or longer as you want to. It's also setting up practical steps to achieve the goal that you're looking for. So many of us do have really big goals, but we forget you often can't leap from here to here. We need to take these little steps, and those little steps count. They make a difference to getting up here. And that's something else I've noticed in my life. I always wanted quantum leap. And yes, there's times we will quantum leap, but most of the time it's that baby step that will get us to our goal. So it's practical as well as looking at your limiting beliefs. And it's also kind of shattering some of those money beliefs that we have based on scriptures, because the scripture is misinterpreted quite often. And I'm kind of giving you a little insight on, what does this really mean? And how can you use this to serve you for your life and your business, and your health even, because like I said, money has so much integrated and it's all kind of entwined into our whole life. So it gives us real clues on what's going on. That's what it is. Every week there's a live call for an hour. I answer all your questions. I work with people with some of the techniques that I know to help you release your belief systems in a, like I said, quick, safe, easy way, so that you can take those steps forward with much more ease. This is what happens, is that when you break your limiting belief, you don't have to push anymore. So if your belief system is that you want, let me say this, if your goal is I want to be thinner, and your belief is for whatever reason you can't give up chocolate, I'm not asking you to, I never have, I've let go of 70 pounds. But your belief is you have to do that, then every time you turn around, you're going to see chocolate in your way. So when we change your belief around chocolate from a need to a want, and a want has a choice. I can choose to or not. So that's, and it makes it easy. It makes it easier for you to decide not to have chocolate without guilt or shame. So that's kind of what it is. And it's a lot of fun. We have a good time together. And we also have a group, our own private group. So you can talk to me through that as well.
I love that. Sorry, my 2-year-old is coming in and out. We had about 30 minutes and now he's
That's okay. And the gift I have
So-
for everybody is I do have a self-hypnosis recording. It's $97 on my website, and you can get it by emailing me, Vickie@VickieGriffith.com, and say, I want that recording, and it's called the Abundance Tree, Money Tree, attracting abundance in your life.
I love that. Okay, I also want to plug in Cozumel really quick, because down in Cozumel that I'm taking 6 girls, super excited. And we sorry, my mind just went whoo. Okay, so we're doing breakthrough work. So we have another coach coming down. She's gonna do breakthrough work. We're gonna see who we want to be and everything. But after the retreat, and after like we rah together and we feel so good together, how does your playbook ensure that like we can stay on the track after we rah together, and after we fill ourselves full of this goodness, but then we get back to our home desk and we're like, well, crap. And all of those negativities keep coming back to you, and then even though that you learn so much, how do we instill that in our lives to keep moving forward, to not lose what Cozumel just did?
Well, this would help you do that, because it's going to give you that experience every day for 30 days, so you can stay on track and you can achieve your goals and not fall back into those old habits of thought, of action, of behavior, which is typically what happens. Because as you said, we get back to our life and it's like, oh, well, it's kind of the same as what I left it. But there's been many books on this, but you have to change. Wayne Dyer talked about it too. Many well-known gurus, I guess you could call them, in the world of self-development talk about when your thoughts change, your world changes. So it all starts with you first. And so maintaining that would be a really excellent idea. And I'm so honored that you've invited me to be part of that journey with them.
Yes, I am so excited that you're going to be a part of this journey and a part of the wrap up. And with that, me and Vickie, we also talked that those 6 beautiful women that come with, there's a price cut with that, because Vickie is giving us such an amazing ability to continue the journey from Cozumel to come home with, that she's willing to go ahead and do a price cut for like a limited time and everything. But I'm really excited about it. And guys, it's huge. So I'm so excited and so honored that you're also willing to work with me. So yes.
Absolutely, for sure. And it's like half off, girl. So grab a hold of that spot. To Cozumel's awesome. It's one of my favorite places, and you'll have a great time. You'll learn some things about yourself, and then come home, do the playbook so you can maintain those changes you want to make.
Thank you so much. So yes, I will make sure I put that playbook in everything that now I'm tagging with Cozumel, so that the bird is out of the bag, or I don't know, the eagle has landed, something like that. But yes, I will make sure to take that so everybody knows the value going into this retreat. So Well, with
Awesome.
that, is there any other little nugget that you want to go ahead and give us or share with us? This has been amazing.
Gosh, any other little nugget? Be grateful. Be grateful for what you have so that you can allow and receive more. And if you have trouble accepting a compliment from somebody, that means you're blocking receiving of all your good. So work on that step first. When someone gives you a compliment, all you have to say is thank you. That's it. Thank you is one of the highest forms of gratitude.
I love that. That's so true. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing, Vickie. This was a beautiful time spent. I really hope that everybody else enjoyed it. Let me jump over here to Facebook really quick. Let me see if there were any more comments. Okay, they were commenting on the house and the ticket story with the lottery. And yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so there are no questions. If there are any questions, go ahead and jump in real quick and write a question and we can definitely ask Vickie. Otherwise, this has been just a beautiful time together. So thank you so much. And then guys, I want to plug in here really quick. So Vickie and I, we met through our networking circle. You guys know that I'm a huge networker. We met through my networking circle. We meet every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central, and it's a free group to be a part of. There is no attendance policy because those are just two huge core things that I believe in personally. So yes, there's nothing hidden. Vickie, you love the group, right?
I adore everyone that's in it. Unfortunately, in the last few weeks, I haven't been able to attend as often as I'd like, but that's no shame with that. When you come back, everyone welcomes you with open arms, and it's like, yay, you're back. So it's a really great group of people that want to help you succeed in your business.
Yes. And when I message you like, hey girl, I missed you, it's not, hey girl, like I missed you. Like, where were you at? Like, why weren't you in my group? No, it's, hey girl, like, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm having a great time on vacation. Bye.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it. Well, there are no questions coming through Facebook, but if you guys have any after you watch the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay because it just boosts the algorithm. And it's the best thing you guys can do for any small business owner. It's just it's just comment, share, do all that. And then ask her any questions. Go ahead, send her a personal DM. That would be great. So, all right, then I will wrap it up here. I am Amber McCarty with Meticulous Engagements, where it is my business to know your business so I can keep sharing it with the world. All right, friends, I will see you guys later.
Thanks, Amber.
You're welcome.